Well, good day. It's Therèsa Fernand, and it is Tuesday's Charm. So I was wondering what to speak to you guys about this week, and this big gathering of grackle came down and swooped on the lawn and started, I guess, feeding because it had just rained really hard, and they seem to know the secret about getting the resources they need. So I'm sure insects had gone up to the surface, or perhaps seed or whatever that it is that they knew that was there. So I asked, I'm like, well, what does the grackle teach us? And I looked at the iridescent colors on the wings and just them being cheerful and flitting about, and they were so diligent and so assertive in their mission. And it gave me pause to examine what was going on in my life and the life of my clients. And are we being too aggressive with how we gather our resources? Are we feeling in lack that we don't have enough love, enough light, enough health, enough money, tangible? We all worry about money, and we're all looking for validation. We're all looking for that security. And it just really made me want to ask the question, like, how are you going about this? Do you believe that we are just a tiny speck in this universe, and that there is just an ever-flowing abundance, that we will always have what we need, and that when we feel like we are in lack, therefore it is. So we will always reflect how we are feeling. That is universal law. So thank you, Grackle, for the message to remind us of how we view our resources and how we go about obtaining them. Are we trying to control the flow? Are we trying to control the flow and the timing and what we need to do and how we bring these resources in? It gave me a big pause to see this and to really grasp the message. So if you're struggling with your abundance, with your resources, with your cash flow, with controlling another's resources and how they make money or how they bring sustenance into their life, take a step back and kind of gather yourself and look in to see what's going on. So let's see what the charms have to say about that. Okay, well, the star fell out upside down, and I feel like I want to tap out. We've been holding on to something for a long time, and we feel like it's not going to happen, and it's time to give up. So I want to tell you that just before greatness happens, we want to give up. So that's kind of a big flag here, telling me to share with you not to give up on what it is that you were hoping to do. So ancient wisdom is screaming at me this week. You know, if you become quiet and you look and gather into spots and places and do things that will deepen your knowledge, will help download information into your brain, spiritual knowledge, ancestral knowledge, even family knowledge that you possibly had forgotten about. Be on the awareness of that things are wanting to be shared with you. Things will be revealed to you, things that hold great wisdom to you if you allow that to come into your knowing. So it's funny, I said just when you're feeling like you want to give up, the giraffe is reminding you to stand tall, to reach high, because you will obtain what you want. And he was like coming up at the top of the pile here. Whatever you're doing, the hand of protection is with you, and you're forgetting about your inner place of peace in order to find what you're attaining. I really want to say, everybody, get quiet and realize what you have already, and not worry about what you're trying to control to gain. More of, spit it out, Theresa. I feel deplete for some of you. I feel like I'm emotionally completely on empty. The camel is on top, like you're trying to defend what little sustenance or resistance you have towards somebody else or towards a situation. So I feel very exhausted by this, and I'm not able to protect myself and the little bit of resources that I have left to deal with this situation. So I'm calling time out, people. You guys have to refuel, and you have to self-care. It's important because we're our own worst enemy. We're beating ourselves up here. It's been a long journey here with someone or something, and it seems like you want to throw in the towel. So project-based, I would say to keep going, because the giraffe is saying to don't give up. But it is taking its toll on you emotionally. Now, that being said, there's great lessons coming in the next 3 to 5 weeks, I'm getting. Like great spiritual lessons. So we have the spiritual key and the teacher key. So, and wisdom and the owl. What a beautiful combination of the wolf, which is teacher, owl, which bears wisdom, and the sacred knowledge. So are you opening yourself up to and allowing something old but new to come into your vibration, like something that means something and is meaningful and will resonate with your soul? You're feeling like luck is not on your side, so I wouldn't suggest playing the lotto this week, because I feel some of you just feel down about your situation and your finances. I'm getting the dragon, which is strength is needed. There's also goddess up, goddess down, and the spider, and that's all creativity. That's all gathering your female side and pulling into those resources which make us feel and move forward. How are we weaving the next thing that will capture what we want? Like I said, when I see a spider, I always think of Charlotte's Web, how resourceful and how amazing they are to build a home and then just start from scratch. A lot of us have attachments to things and to places, and animals teach us so much that they can just pick up and move. They take whatever they need with them, which is usually themselves and their family, and they just rebuild somewhere else. Humans get stuck in a lot of stuff. They're attached to stuff and they're materialistic things, and they try to figure it all out. What am I going to do with all my things? How am I going to do this? Where am I going to go next? And how is it all going to happen? When in fact, all of this with the grackle, everything is saying that you have the resources, you have the sustenance. There's an ever flowing abundance that will come to you if you allow it. So allow that wisdom to come in. And finally, there is also admiration and an enjoyment of kind of a lighthearted relationship here. You've been through a lot. So if somebody's coming into your space to bring in some good times, good emotions, and some feel good, really try to enjoy reconnecting to self through those moments of having a good time, and connecting with somebody that feels good. I have a lot of water energy this week, a lot of water energy, a lot of emotions. So when the grackles came feeding after the rain, it's been pouring rain a lot here since I've been home in Florida. There's just been the typical summer downpour, and then it goes away. So there's a lot of flooding of emotions, and I feel like there's a lot of tears built up. Dolphins swimming to reconnect with our emotional side and our familial side and our roots. There's going to be a lot of upheaval and a lot of digging, I think, in the emotions in the upcoming weeks. And for some reason, I think I said 2 to 5 weeks or 3 to 5 weeks seemed very important time to me. And I'm just getting that people want to know yes or no. And my pendulum swinging yes. So if there's any yes or no questions this week, it really feels like there's a yes question. There's also going to be a shedding of skin and a healing that's happening. So I feel catharsis this week, and that is it. So I hope you are all doing well. Do you like my blue nails? It's kind of matching. I'm in Caribbean mode, so I'll be off and visiting with my Boca clientele next week, and then off to another client retreat after that. So I'm hoping you're having a wonderful summer. Ciao for now.